Hey y'all, welcome to What's Happening with Carolina Chuck. You might have seen that spaceship looking truck riding around town lately. Well, that's a Tesla Cybertruck. Now today we're going to sit down with the man driving that truck. It is Joe Fay. He's also a state police officer and he's got 3.5 million followers on TikTok. So we're going to see what it takes to be a TikToker, and we're going to take a closer look at that truck and get inside of it and see what's up with it. So y'all stay tuned and check us out. It's pretty wild how I ended up meeting you, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm at Taco Bell, and my son's like, he's been obsessed with the Cybertruck since for 2 years. And I didn't even think they were real things.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that thing looks too weird to be a real thing. And we're at Taco Bell, and he's like, Dad, there's a Cybertruck. And I look out the window.
Somebody had sent me that video that night or the next morning.
Yeah.
And like, look at this kid's freaking out over the Cybertruck, and something about Taco Tuesday. And it's like, I know him. I know roughly. I've heard of him before. And so I thought it was funny. I saw that video, and then a few people had sent it to me, and then you had reached out. And
so and that was pretty cool because you're big on social media.
Yeah.
Social media helped me find you because I posted it, and then people was like, oh, I know who that is, and Josh Cox. They're like, Josh Cox can get a hold of him.
Yeah.
And and I'm thinking, what cooler thing? Because my son's birthday was that weekend or whatever, and I was like, let me see if I can get a hold of him because he wants a Quest or some kind of
the VR.
Yeah, VR. I'm like, dude, I ain't spending $800 on your birthday.
No, they're expensive.
Oh God,
yeah,
then
they're expensive.
Shoes and everything.
Yeah.
So I got a hold of Josh, and then I was like, you know what? He said he was going to get a hold of you, and I just like, shoot, I was like, dude's got 3.5 million followers on TikTok. There's no way he's going to see my message. So I was like, I'm going to risk it.
And it was just chance, too, because I never look at my messages on anything.
Yeah.
Because I get quite a bit, and I never look at them. Most of them are spam. Most of them are, this person sent you a video, this person, whatever. And I just so happened to, I think I might have accidentally clicked like on the message portion and saw it up there, and I'm like, I recognize that name, so I clicked on it, and I'm like, it's a local guy, so I'll respond back because...
That was super dope. I was like, wow. He hit me right away. He texted me. I was like, what? I was like, no way. And then I ended up riding out there and checking out your car. And when I got there and I looked at it, I was like, wow, this thing is way...
It doesn't look real.
Yeah.
It looks strange.
Yeah. It was way cooler than... way more aggressive.
In person, right?
Way more aggressive. Yeah. And you put special tires on there?
No, that's what it comes with.
Really?
It comes with those all-terrains now.
Moly.
Yep. But in pictures, it looks kind of goofy in pictures. And I'll admit it, it's not a very good-looking vehicle. But in pictures, it looks goofy. But in person, it looks different in person.
It absolutely
It looks a lot better, I think, in person.
So let's go back to the beginning. So how did this TikTok thing happen?
So it's kind of funny because TikTok had really just come out. It was early 2020.
Yeah.
So it was like January of 2020. TikTok had like just come out. A buddy of mine says, hey, you got to download TikTok. It's these funny videos. And I'm like, all right. So I download it and I'm watching videos. And he's like, you gotta post some videos. I'm like, what am I going to post a video of? I got nothing to post a video of.
Right.
So one of them was just a stupid little video I posted. It got no views. I posted another video. It got no views. And I was like, I'll do a video of the car that I have. I had a Tesla Model 3 at the time. Did a video of that, and it started blowing up. And at the time, my buddy and I were having a competition, who can get the most views on a video. He had one get like 100,000 views, and I was like, I'm going to try and beat that. So it started to rise up, got to about 100, 150, up to like 1 million views, which was crazy. I gained like 1,000 followers overnight.
Wow.
And I was like, this is pretty cool.
And when TikTok first came out, dude, I've got daughters, right? And it took me a minute to get on TikTok because all I seen them was over in the corner dancing.
That's all it was.
And I was like, this is not for adults until I don't really know when I started noticing TikTok was heck, probably when I came up here 2.5 years ago. When I started the dealership, me and Lee started a TikTok, and we just started having fun with it.
Well, that's really noticing. All it was dancing.
Yeah,
and I think that mine kind of took off because at the time all it was dancing, and then mine was just a little bit different than everything else. Nobody else was posting videos about Teslas. nobody really even knew about them. It was early 2020, and I mean, they had just started to become big a few years before that.
Right.
So nobody really knew much about them. So I think that's kind of what got me a good following in the beginning.
What got you into Teslas to start with?
I don't know. It was like when they first came out in mainstream in like 2012. I saw them. I'm like, those are pretty cool looking cars. They look like they're pretty fast. They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I was a senior in high school in 2012. I'm like, I'm gonna try and get one day. But at the time, they're $100,000.
Yeah.
So I said, this is not even realistic. So I forgot about it for a while. And then they announced the Model 3, and that was 2016, I think they announced it. And it came out in 17. And they said, we're going to make a $35,000 version. And everyone's like, there's no way. Your cheapest car is $80,000 or $90,000. There's no way you're going to. And, for like a year and a half, they didn't. It was like $50,000, $60,000. And then it was 2019 where they announced the $35,000 Tesla Model 3 is out. And I said, that's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So it ended up being 35, and then you added like 2,000 to get a little bit of extra range, custom interior color, and all that. But that was why I got it, because I was like, for $42,000, I think at the time.
Yeah.
I was the only person around to have a Tesla.
We'll be right back with more with Joe Fay on What's Happening with Carolina Chuck. We're back with more of What's Happening with Carolina Chuck with our guest, Joe Fay.
I was like, this is the greatest car.
I mean, my experience with Teslas, we had a few on the lot at the dealership, and I got to go on a couple test drives, and I got to drive them myself, and the way the acceleration, I mean, it's like there's
instant.
it's almost like there's no shift. It was comparable to like a roller coaster drop.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It is
like,
absolutely, it's instant. Yeah. It's like, and that's why I got the new truck. I said that's the next step. I did, the Model 3, then I went to the Model X, which was insane at the time, and then I went to the fastest car they've ever made, which was even more insane. And I said, the only thing I can go from there is to get the truck. It's the only.
So do you know how many Tesla trucks there are in New York? Because I was told there were 3 and you had the one.
So when I got mine about a month ago, I asked the delivery center, and there's only 2 delivery centers in New York where you can pick one up from: Turning Stone and Mount Kisco. Mount Kisco is right on the border of New York City. So Turning Stone had only delivered 3 when I picked mine up, and one of them was an hour before me. So when I picked it up, there was probably 3 to 5 in New York.
Okay.
Mine was like VIN number 4,000, so it's number 4,000 something in the world. Now they're up to like 8,000 or 9,000.
When you first was like, "Hey, I could get paid doing this," and how did that happen? Like, what was the first thing? How did I don't know.
So. One of my most early brand deals that I can remember was, it's weird saying this, but there was this guy who narrates like terms and conditions. Like you go on for an Apple iPhone, there's terms and conditions that are 50 pages long.
Okay.
This guy would go through and he would read the terms and conditions. And it was meant to be a put you to sleep thing you listen to when you're sleeping. So that was his whole thing. He filmed, 8 to 10 hours straight, and it was meant to listen to while you sleep. He had a calming voice, and he put you to sleep. So he reached out, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to advertise this for me." I said, how am I going to do that? And he goes, just all you have to do is go live, leave it live overnight, put up a poster in the background saying, "Go watch this podcast, go watch this, listen to this while you sleep." And he goes, "Play one of my videos in the background." Easy enough. He's like, "I'll give you $500. I said, "You give me $500 for just leaving my phone on all night on live?" He goes, "Yeah." Done. So I did it. And that was like the first brand deal that I can think of that was like, somebody reached out and wanted me to advertise for them. Which was crazy. But then it led into, TikTok started paying for views. Not very much. I think per 1,000 views, it was like a penny or 2 pennies. So, a 1 million view video is $20, $10, $20, which At the time, you could get 1 million views on a video. Every couple videos you could. Now it's a little bit tougher. But they initially just started out with just penny or 2 penny every 1,000 views, and that was how they paid. But now they do it differently, and a lot of the money back then was brand deals reaching out.
So they reach out to you, or have you got to where you're like targeting brands now?
I have them all reach out to me. I advertise, my business email right on TikTok, which I get probably 50 emails a day that are a lot of spam. But you get to fish through a couple of them, and a couple of them are actual, real companies saying, we've got Tesla floor mats, or we've got this phone case that hooks up to your Tesla that we want you to advertise. And for me, if it's like Tesla related and stuff like that, I can seamlessly put it into a video without it being like, hey, this is an ad, this is an ad.
Yeah.
And so it'll do a little bit better than just me saying, hey, buy this phone case.
Hey, y'all, I hope you're enjoying the show. Remember to connect with Carolina Chuck on Facebook to let me know what you think about the show. Leave comments and suggestions. Let me know who else you'd like to see. We're back with more with Joe Fay, the Cybertruck TikTok guy. Hey, connect with me on Facebook and let me know what you think about the show.
Expensive.
All right, so one thing we were talking about right before we started doing this, you talked to kind of one of my favorite 2 people in the world, Bob and Tom, this morning, right?
Well, I didn't actually get the chance to talk to them. So I was just sitting at home. I was drinking coffee, and someone I work with texted me and said, "You're on the Bob and Tom show." I said, "No way." I said, "Yeah, you were just on." So I go to bobandtom.com, and I started listening into the radio, and I caught the last 5 seconds of it. They were just talking about a Cybertruck. So I said, I got to be close. It must have just happened.
Yeah.
So I went on their YouTube and scrolled back a little bit, and sure enough, they mentioned my name. This guy, and they basically said, this idiot broke his finger in the front of a Cybertruck. And, they cracked a couple of jokes about needing to charge the truck before we go to the emergency room. Like, hang on, I got to wait a few hours before we drive you there. But no, it was funny. It was, I got a good laugh out of it because
that's pretty cool.
It was a funny moment.
That's really cool.
So those videos are starting to kind of circulate around the internet now, which is kind of cool. So long, but it's still pretty cool.
So what happened with the finger breaking thing? How did that happen?
So basically, it's a trend to see what your Cybertruck's front trunk can crush. It's automatic, so it goes down and it'll crush things because when it first came out, there weren't many sensors on it. And the truck is very sharp. It's stainless steel, so it would slice things in half if you put it in a certain spot. Yeah. And everyone's like, you got to watch out for your fingers and everything like that. It's going to cut them off. So, the video started with me crushing a pepper or an orange or a water bottle. And, it would stop on most things. It would sense it and then go back up. And that was it. So I saw a video of a guy doing it and his finger got stuck. It crushed his finger and was stuck in there. Oh. So, I made a video. I stitched it and I was like, there's no way. So I did my arm and then my hand and then my finger. And sure enough, it went on and opened back up. So I was like, see, it's not going to crush your finger. He must have done something wrong. Something must have happened. Yeah. So that video gets posted. And then because of his video, one of the head guys at Tesla reached out to him and was like, hey, by the way, there's an algorithm with the trunk. The first time it tries to shut, it's going to give it a 1 out of 10 aggressiveness to shut. If it gets stopped by something and opens back up, it's going to go to 2 out of 10. If it gets stopped, it's going to go to 3 out of 10. So until that trunk actually shuts, it's going to progressively get stronger and stronger because you're telling it, I want you to shut. It's saying, I can't because something's in the way. And you keep pressing the button to shut it, it's going to keep attempting to shut it harder and harder. I had tested a lot before I did my finger. And none of it made it to camera because none of it was any good. So, the only one that I caught on camera was about the 10th time that I tried to shut the trunk and I put my finger there. And I put it there and it closed down. And it closed down with so much strength that it lifted my finger up like that. Yeah. And lucky enough, I was able to reach the button. I had to reach all the way around.
That's what I saw. I was like, what? I know he's got to be hitting something maybe in his pocket or something.
Because I was recording on the phone, which is the key to the truck.
Oh.
So I would have had to, swipe out, go to the app, unlock, open up the front trunk, Otherwise, I was stuck there. And in the first video the guy did, he was able to like lift it up manually and get his finger out. But I reached around and clicked it, and it opened up, and I was like, oh man, like there's a dent on the top and bottom of my finger.
So you're a local guy from up here, right?
Right from Watertown. Yeah.
From Watertown, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah. So how did you end up getting in law enforcement?
I don't know. I've always kind of known that I wanted to be some sort of law enforcement. Ever since I was kind of little, that was my answer. I want to be a cop or something in law enforcement.
Like you have how many kids?
I have one child of my own and then 2 stepkids.
Okay.
So we've got 3 total. So we're busy, but
I bet they like that truck too.
they do. They absolutely, but they don't know what they don't know what they're riding. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're seeing it as we got the Cybertruck, and they think it's hilarious when we're driving around and other kids are losing their mind seeing this truck driving around because they're like, why are they taking pictures of our truck? Why are they? Because they're used to it at this point.
Right. That's cool, man.
But they do. They like it. They freak out. I know when I go to pick up the kids from school, they come running out and they're like, Cybertruck.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We'll be right back with more with Joe Fay. Don't go nowhere because he's going to take us for a ride in that Tesla truck. Now, remember, you can catch the whole unedited video on my YouTube channel, the Carolina Chuck YouTube channel. Let's stay tuned. Be right back. All right, y'all, we're back with more with Joe Fay. I told you we're going to put it on YouTube, but we're also going to put it on my podcast, the Carolina Chuck Podcast. Now, that'll be on Spotify and different places, but check out the rest of the interview, and then he's going to take us on a ride in that Tesla truck. I was going to ask you, does Tesla do anything? I mean, you have any kind of relationship with them?
Yep. Now, the only time I've ever spoken with them was when they reached out and they wanted to post. They did it twice. They wanted to post my video on their Instagram. So Tesla's got a couple of my videos posted on their Instagram.
That's pretty dope.
It's really cool. I definitely liked that, but that's it. That's the only communication I've ever had with them. And which is kind of weird because you think, I mean, at this point, I've got to be close to 2 billion views across all social media.
Right.
Only about Tesla.
So you're not on Facebook, correct?
I am.
You're on Facebook?
Yep. I'm on Facebook under my name, under Joseph Fay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then you're on Instagram. I mean, are they big as TikTok for you or no?
TikTok's 3.5 million. Instagram's only about 20,000. I only post on Instagram because when I post on Facebook, it gets automatically posted to Instagram as well.
Okay.
So Facebook's got like 100,000 followers.
Really?
And then YouTube's got like 120,000 subscribers. But TikTok's a big one.
Okay.
Well, a buddy of mine just reached out to me. He does social media as well. He's in Kansas or Ohio. He's somewhere out there.
Yeah.
So I met him online, but he reached out and told me that right now on YouTube, what's really big is Spanish and Portuguese channels. So I don't know if you've heard of Mr. Beast.
Yes.
He has people.
It was his birthday yesterday.
I saw that. He bought like 26 Teslas he's giving away. But he does. So he has all these different languages as different channels. So he'll have Mr. Beast in Spanish, Mr. Beast in Portugal. So all he does is he posts his English video. His team edits it. He pushes that video to one of his guys who dubs it in Spanish. He goes through and he voices over the entire video in Spanish.
You could almost do that with AI.
Mm-hmm. You can.
And you wouldn't even have to have a guy.
Yep. So now he's got Mr. Beast in English, Mr. Beast in Spanish, Portuguese. He's got 100 different languages. So he can reach everybody in the world. So the buddy of mine that reached out, he's like, hey, man, I'm paying somebody monthly. I send them the video. They voice it over in Spanish and Portuguese. They made me 2 separate YouTubes for those Spanish and Portuguese, and they're going to post them on there and comment to people in those languages from those channels. So, I mean, it's a premium. He's paying for it monthly. But, I mean, if it gets pretty big, it's just 2 more streams of income based on your initial stream of income.
Now, are you making anything off of YouTube?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Not a whole lot. The big money in YouTube is long videos, like over 10 minutes long are the big money videos. I can't post over 10 minutes. I can barely get a minute. So my videos on TikTok are over a minute long now. Typically between like a minute 1 second to a minute 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So the ones that are like kind of close to a minute 5 and under, I'll take those and just cut out the last couple seconds, throw it on YouTube as a short. So it'll be under a minute. So I post the YouTube shorts on there.
Oh, so a little bit. What's a little bit to you on YouTube? Like as far as
so YouTube used to be decent. I mean, to a point where it was like $1,000 a month if you do pretty well, which is a great secondary income.
right.
Now I only post on there probably 3 times a week. So it can range anywhere between, it all depends on the views. I mean, if I do a really good month on YouTube, I may make $500 in there. If I do a very average month, it might be $100. It all depends on, it's the views wise. It all depends.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I have a main job for bills and stuff like that. And then I have a second job for some fun. And that's how I fund my vehicles with social media. Everybody is blowing up on TikTok. TikTok was the first app that you could go out with 0 followers, post a video, and get 1 million views. Nobody else would ever allow you to do that because on Instagram, nobody would see it because you have 0 followers. Mm-hmm. And it would never get pushed out globally. Only your followers would see it. Yeah. And then TikTok was like the first platform to push out your video, no matter how many followers you had, to everybody that wanted to see it. So they were the first one to really make viral videos because, I mean, on YouTube you could go search for the video, but it would never just pop up on your home screen.
Like a thing. But that's why kind of like Facebook Reels is you get a lot of views on there because it's pretty much
same
TikTok,
thing. Everyone once TikTok came out, everyone started to see like, hey, there's a lot of traction in short videos. These people nowadays have short attention spans.
Yep.
So YouTube was like, we got to go to shorts. Not everyone's going to watch a 10-minute video. So they went to shorts, and then Facebook went to Reels, and then Instagram has Reels. So everybody, even Snapchat has a Reels program now. So everybody's got short videos.
Well, that's cool, dude. Well, look, I think that's enough for today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you coming.
Of course, thank you.
I want to go down there and look at this truck before you leave.
Let's go for a ride if you want to.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Of course.
Bye.